And let's get to Ira Cronin, who is currently at the scene. Ira, you've been covering this since yesterday morning, and we just mentioned the victims killed and injured, but we also learned police believe it could have been worse if not for some heroic actions.
Yeah, Bree, we still don't know this morning who those two customers at Club Q are. That's one of the things we might possibly learn at the press conference sometime before noon today that the city will be giving. We did learn yesterday that, again, because of the actions of these customers, as well as a quick response time by CSPD, the suspect was in custody within 6 minutes of the initial 911 call. Now, when police train people how to survive an active shooter situation, and ironically, we just had this training at News 5 last week. We had a CSPD officer come in and talk to us about the principles of run, hide, fight. That's the FBI kind of authorized approach. Sometimes it's known under other names, but it's talking about the individual situations that you might face as part of an active shooter, the split-second decisions you'd have to make. And from the reports of the eyewitnesses and stories that are surfacing now, it appears that all three of these principles were put into practice by different groups of people in the club. Some escaped, some sheltered in place, and the two people that we've heard confronted that gunman. Matthew Haynes is one of the co-owners of Club Q. He spoke yesterday and he says there's no doubt in his mind that if that would have not happened, things could have been much worse.
Survival mode, without a doubt, we have heroes that saved numerous lives. If he was able to get onto the patio, if he was able to continue, there would certainly be more victims.
And again, it's important to mention that when people are trained, when police talk about the principles of run, hide, fight, they are in no way advocating that your first priority should be confronting an active shooter as your best option. That is the least thing from the truth. Police and firefighters train for these type of mass casualty events in case they happen, and we know that this played out very well yesterday when officers arrived and paramedics. Again, they were here within about 3 minutes of that initial call, and they were able to get things in motion and start saving lives. We know many victims still hospitalized this morning. Now, the fact that potential lives lost was something that happened here that doesn't ease the loss of the lives that were taken by this act of evil. And there's a growing memorial here, and that's where we find Caroline Peters over on the other side live of Club Q this morning.